name is Sana, one half of the Twin Diaries, obviously. I came to talk to you guys, or just wanted to come on camera because I'm actually about to go somewhere, so I'm like so dressed up. But to talk to you guys about why I chose LVN or LPN over BSN, like my whole process or whatever. And honestly, the reason why I wanted to come on here and talk about it because I don't want anybody to feel like there's only one path you have to go in nursing. I know there's a lot of people who are like, I wonder if nursing's for me. I feel like that's going to be such a long process, blah, blah, blah. Like, there's multiple ways that you can get to your overall goal if that's to be a nurse, RN, BSN, RN, whatever. So don't ever feel like there's only one way you can do it. It's going to be only one path, blah, blah. Everybody's path in life is different. So I just really want you to know that there's hope. You can do whatever you put your mind to. And be positive and open-minded and do your research and stuff like that. So anyway, I'll stop rambling and let's get into the video. I'm a very indecisive person, but that's not a good thing. I'm working on that. I've always just like always flip back and forth between things. Like one minute I'm like, yeah, I want to do this, the next minute I'm like that, and that's how I've been like in high school and like in college and stuff like that, or when I first started college. So I kept saying like I was going to do nursing, and I've always wanted to do nursing, but then I was like, no, that's too hard. I don't feel like doing all those classes. Like I wanted to have fun in college and not be like, I'm going to do nursing, I'm going to have to take these classes, blah, blah, blah. So I flipped, and then I was like, no, I'm going to do psychology, and I'm going to be a child psychologist. What I did know is that I've always wanted to work with kids. I've even thought about teacher, but I was like, no, that's not it for me. Like, I know it's not it for me. Even though the whole time I was in college, I was a preschool teacher. And I actually loved it, but I knew that was something that, like, I wouldn't do for the rest of my life. Like, I couldn't see myself doing that for the rest of my life. Teachers, amen to them. My mom is a teacher. I knew that I always wanted to work with kids, so I kept flipping back and forth in college. Like, I'm going to be a child psychologist. I'm going to be a nurse. I'm going to be a child psychologist. I'm going to be a nurse. And I kept flipping back and forth, and then I was like, you know what? I'm going to be a child psychologist. This is what I'm going to do. Mind you, when I made that decision, I was a sophomore. It was my sophomore year, and then I also knew nothing about graduate programs and whatnot. Like, nothing. And honestly, they didn't really talk to you about graduate programs until I got to like the end of my junior year, senior year, and by then I was like, literally, I have one more year and I'll have all these classes done. Like, I'm not about to change my major and then like prolong graduating just because like now I want to do nursing and now I have to take these classes instead of these classes. So I went through with that, and I got my bachelor's in psychology from Texas A&M. Giga. Go Aggies. And I loved it though. Like, I love the experience. I still love psychology, but it's so funny because that psychology is so different from nursing psychology, so don't get it twisted. So I knew that I was going to have to do what I really wanted to do. I knew that I was going to have to go to a master's program or a doctorate program. But then when I learned about them and I was like hearing all the things that you have to do and what it's like, I was like, dude, I cannot see myself doing that. Like, would not want to do a master's or a graduate program. I do not want to just be writing papers the whole time. I did, like, you know what I mean? Like, I want to be hands-on. Like, I really enjoy patient care and stuff like that. So when I knew that, I was like, you know what? No, not for me. So when I moved back home, my sister was going into she knew always knew she was going to do nursing, so she was going into the nursing program, and her program was like 3 years long, I believe. And then I decided I was going to do a CNA program and see, like, for sure is nursing for me. And I ended up after I did that, I loved it, and then I got a job at the hospital, and I freaking loved it. I was working on a med-surg floor, and what I do know is that I don't want to do med-surg. But I truly did love it. I loved the patients that I had, the people that I met. It confirmed to me that I knew that I wanted to be a nurse, and I knew that I would be a good nurse. Like, I knew if I went into that, I wouldn't hate myself for it. What I would hate myself for is working on a med-surg floor. So I'm telling you, you will never catch me working on a med-surg floor by choice. But shout out to med-surg nurses. Like, people don't realize how hard they work and how extremely like taxing it is, and God bless them. But anyway, that was how I ended up going into the LPN program. So I was doing my class. I like only needed a couple classes left to apply to the nursing program, but I kind of felt like I didn't want to take too long to start actually working as a nurse, and I wanted to be like financially independent. So I was like, I can take a whole nother semester and finish, well, actually I think it would have been like 2 semesters maybe, and finish these classes, and then we'll apply to a program, and that program is probably going to be like 18 months to 2 years. Most of them I was looking at was going to be 2 years. And I was like, I don't want to wait like another 2.5 years before I'm actually able to work and be financially independent, because although working as a nurse tech was paying okay, it definitely, to me, I knew there were some people who were able to be financially independent working as that, but that was because they were like slaving over hours and being there every single day of the week, and that wasn't for me. Like, I was going to be extremely unhappy if I did something like that. So I decided that I was going to apply to the LPN program, and honestly I was just like, I don't think I'm going to have a problem getting in. Like, I have all this other stuff behind my belt. I did great on my HESI. I did great in the classes. Like, I got A's in my prereqs and stuff like that. So I was like, this is only going to be 12 months. If I do a bridge program, it's going to be the same amount of time as these other 2-year programs, and I'll be an RN. Just like if I actually just went through and did the RN program and having to wait longer to work as a nurse and make my own money. So I was like, you know what, that's what I'm going to do. So that's when I ended up applying to the LPN program, and that is where I am today. So I'm actually going to be done in 2 months or 10 weeks. Well, I don't know how long it is from today, but I do know that the program is over in August, and I started in August. So August 8th or August 7th is my graduation. No, so I think it's August 8th. August 8th is my pinning and graduation day. So yeah, and then right after that, I plan on going into the bridge program. My school has a bridge program, and that one is exactly same, like 12 months from whatever month to that month. Or I also know that like UTA and Sam Houston stuff have a BSN program, and I was thinking about doing that as well. I would need more classes for like the way that they do their program. They want you to take these programs before you enter the program. It's really weird. So it's just a juggling battle, and then also I don't want to accumulate any more student debt. Like right now from A&M, I actually have $34,000, which is actually pretty good. If anybody who's ever had like student loans that they've gotten from going to a university, especially a big university like that, I'm doing good. So I just don't want any more than that, because then that can pay off pretty quick, I believe, if I'm dedicated to it. So yeah, so that's what I'm trying to decide. Everybody's been asking me on Instagram, which you can follow me as Sana Milana, and I'll put it somewhere, what program I plan on doing, and I'm not sure. But I'm like leaning towards the school that I'm at, their program, their bridge program, or UTA's, I'm not sure. But either way, it would have taken me the same amount of time if I did the RN program. So yeah. What I do think would be nice is when I do graduate with my RN, it won't be like I have no experience, and I plan on as an LVN going into the track that I want to do. So actually, ERs hire LVNs, and then there's like Texas Children's Clinics, Texas Children's Hospital hires LVNs, so they have them on specific floors or whatever. What else? Like there's a couple of hospitals that still, like even when I was in clinicals at the hospital for Memorial Hermann, there was LVNs there and stuff like that. So I plan on going into like urgent care or ER or pediatric, because I know that's along the lines of what I want to do. I also wouldn't mind doing like PICU and stuff like that, which is why, as an RN, so that's why I want to go straight into pediatrics or ER, because ER takes care of both children and adults, unless you go work at like an urgent care that's specifically pediatric, which I'm also looking into as well. But that was my plan. because if I can get my foot in the door and start working in the field that I want to go into, just like I know that I don't want to do med surg, I'm not going to go and apply to jobs that'll cater towards that field. I'm going to apply to jobs that I know will give me the skills I need to do so I can further along in that field. So when I'm an RN, I'm not just coming in like, oh yeah, I want to be a PICU nurse or whatever, and they're like, well, do you even have any pediatric experience? Not saying that's necessary, but it just makes your life a little bit easier when you're trying to go into a specific field like that, especially because it's very, like a lot of people want to do fields like that. They want to go in pediatrics, or a lot of people want to do IC critical care, a lot of people want to do neonatal care, or ER and stuff like that. Like those are very high, like a lot of people want to do them. So having some background in it will make it a little bit easier, I believe, for you. And that's also what I've been told, but all experience is good experience. That's just my plan. So if any of you have been thinking about doing that, and for whatever reasons, there's a lot of reasons why people have chosen to do the LPN program. There's another girl that I have on Instagram, and her name is Miss Jackson. She also is LVN, and her reasoning was that she didn't know for sure if nursing was for her, so she just wanted to get her foot in the door and start off as an LVN because you can easily build from that. So don't let anybody deter you and tell you what you should or what you shouldn't do. Only way you will ever fail in life is if you just choose not to do it at all. So I hope that answers you guys' question about why I chose LPN or BSN and like my whole track and everything. If you have any more questions for me, comment down below if you want me to talk specifically about my program or whatnot. Let me know. Give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching and supporting us. Subscribe, thrive, bye.